the studio, and today we are going to make something very special. We're going to make a 5x7 card for an anniversary. So I don't know if you know this, but anniversaries that are 50th anniversaries are considered the golden anniversary. But when I went into my little tickle trunk of cardstock here, I found a lot of choices. There's this beautiful glittery gold. Look at that sparkle. What about this matte finish? Ooh, the camera loves that. And then, of course, this one, I think you'll be able to see me and my camera. Look, hello, they're in a really mirrored gold. So lots of different options when it comes to gold for our paper crafting today that we have. What I've done is, because I'm just learning YouTube live, first I painted my nails. That's a first in a long time, let me tell you. But also, I've pre-assembled a few things here. So I decided to use some die cuts. Again, I'm going to do a 5x7. So in a moment, I'll show you with this card how it becomes a 5x7. I used some nesting dies with sort of a pretty filigree, what's that called? Scripty type of look to it. So I used that to cut out, coordinating a gold and a white one that are going to go in. This is going to be my sentiment strip. Or where I put my sentiments. So take a look at this though. This is an embossing folder. Embossing folders have one side raised and one side indented. And what you do is you put your cardstock inside and roll it through. I used my Sizzix Big Shot. And when you open it, you get this beautifully embossed paper. Now let me give the camera a second to catch up with seeing that. I'll tilt it for the light to catch it differently. This one, again, going with sort of that scripty theme, is a really sort of beautiful, I don't know, it makes me feel like weddings when I see sort of scripty and vines and things like that. So the next thing that I cut out were these impossibly tiny little sentiments, happy anniversary. And I'm going to use those along with these really cool things. Now this is Tim Holtz. He's a designer that's very, very popular in our space. Really great stuff. This is a simple number set that he had. So I pulled out the 50 and I used that set, or I pulled out the 50. Thank you for figuring that out with me. What I did is I cut 2 layers of it out. So using this nice glittery, I cut the first one, and that's going to be what shows on the card. But to give this some really nice dimension, what I used is a piece of foam. So see, this is a thicker piece of paper. If you were looking at this piece of paper, can you see that on camera? A thicker piece of paper. What that's going to do is I'm going to be able to glue this down here in a moment, and I'll let them dry under a brick so that this 50 actually has lots of dimension to it when we put it together in the card. So that's where we're going to start today. Those are the elements, and I hope that you are already having a great day where you are. For me, it's morning time here, and I am ready for an amazing day. Actually, today we're going to be at a market. So in my community that I live in, it's called Guelph, there's a community group called the Ward Night Market, and the Ward is a group of homes in our area that I've heard referred to as sort of like wartime housing, more small, tiny little homes. You know, new cool things have gone in. We've got maybe distilleries, that sort of thing. And it's a place where the community is looking to sort of, I don't know what you call that, advertise how great it is, let people know it's this beautiful community they can come to. So this market moves around on a regular basis to new places that they feature in the ward. And I am going to be a vendor tonight at the Ward market for a Renaissance theme. So I'm very, very excited to be able to take my cards. I've made cards featuring fairies because in the Renaissance, of course, dragons and castles and knights and maidens and all those good things were part of Renaissance. So I am going with a beautiful floral crown that my friend Lisa from Designs by Lisa Cable made for me, and a few extra for others to try on, to have fun with if they would like as well too. There's my 50 on the foam. I'm just going to put that under a block off to the side. These are my scrap pieces here. So that is going to be pressing down. So the glue's adhering there. And yeah, so the night market tonight is going to be really a lot of fun. I've asked some friends to come and see me there. There's going to be some food trucks. But these fairy cards that I've done, I've featured, and I'm giving them all away for free. Most of the people going as vendors, of course, are selling their beautiful wares. But I am, well, Suzanne, I am very excited to see you come to the fair as well too. And I'm excited to see Pete, but mostly you. It's mostly you, Suzanne. And so yeah, I'm excited to have friends come see me. I hope the food trucks are great. And I saw that there was a beer tent, but that they're going to have mead and cider in it. So I'm excited about that. So yes, I'm so glad you could join me, Suzanne. I am a morning person. So when I first started this week doing these live sessions, what I wanted to be able to achieve was something that fit into my schedule, but used my energy when it was high. Have you ever been able to sort of, really ascertain when your energy is high and just know you're a morning person or a night owl? I really love being able to do things in the morning. And so that's why I decided to try this week and do it this way. Okay, so here's my card, 5x7, right? This is going to open this way. It's going to be landscape. So what I've got here, also a 5x7, is the embossed piece of paper. Now I want to cut that down a bit because I want some margin around my frame. So if I go a 1/4 inch on each side, that will give me a nice clean margin all the way around. And of course, I picked up the trimmer that does not have 7 inches on it with me. So pray for me, folks, because that trimmer is in a drawer in the desk beside me. So I'm just going to do my best. There's a little bit of margin here I can see. And we're going to go ahead and just remove that margin and call it a 1/4 inch because it's only paper. And I'm sure it's going to be close enough. And you'll see in a second when I hold it up to the card back. If it doesn't look like it's enough, guess what? We'll cut a little more. So here's the card. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's going to be pretty. Now, I do really like the white on white look. That's what I was going for with this card. I'm pausing here to wonder if I should actually put a gold mat behind that, but hopefully the gold elements that I've chosen for the front of the card will be enough of a beautiful look to it. So I'm going to put my card base aside. We're going to design on this. I'm going to start with the, so this is going like this, so you can start to see the assembly. All right, and the 50, I want to have sort of off to the side. We'll see in the design. And I want happy anniversary to play over here. So I think that's there's lots of nice gold going on here. I'm not cheating the recipient of having a beautiful look with that nice white going on. So what we're going to do first is put the tiny little sentiments that I have here. Look at this die cut kit. I got it in a package, but there are so many tiny little words in here, but tiny being the operative thing here. They're so tiny that I find it a little difficult to work with, but that's okay. We have a way. This is, my glue bottle has a very fine nozzle on it. And I've got some tweezers to work with here as well that are, these tweezers actually stay closed when they're not being used. So you pinch them open, which means I can hold things sort of with, like it feels like I have an extra hand available to do that. So using this, taking my 50 and remembering that I'm trying to do sort of the 50 little artsy off to the side, I want to bring my anniversary down. And can you see how tiny this is? Also, inside the A, I need to punch out the little extra, what are those called? The little extra bits. So this is one of my favorite tools. I don't know what it's called. I call it a pokey tool. And all I do is just take that little bitty piece out. See that? And it adds to the beauty of the little sentiment that I have. So let's get anniversary looking like anniversary. And there we go. So that's the word anniversary. And what we're going to do is get the glue going. Now I'll tell you what I often do when I'm using glue for the first time in the day is just check that my glue flow is happening the way I want it to. So there it is. That's a little test strip that's going in the garbage. And I'm going to put little dots of glue as we go. Now I recognize this is white glue on white paper on a white background. So just maybe you can't see what I'm doing, but trust me, trust in the process. So I'd love to know what you've got going on today. I know, Suzanne, you're able to tune in. Thank you for that. And coming out to see the Renaissance Fair in Guelph tonight is just wonderful. It's a fun thing to get up in the morning and have some routine, but some people really like difference every morning. So my routine in the morning is not generally making cards and doing lives. At least that hasn't been my routine yet. But what I often do, well, what I always do is walk the dog. Luigi is my constant companion, and I absolutely adore that he makes me get out and walk every morning. We have beautiful nature trails by us, and they are just like, it's like living in a park, really. Okay, so here goes my little word anniversary, and I'm going to play with it a bit while, since this is a long word, a little bit bendy, and we want to get it looking nice. And I'm questioning all my life decisions and choices when I see that white on white and wondering, is that really what I want it to do? Is it? Is it? I think so. I'm going to stick with it right now because remember, we've got lots of beauty coming in here that we'll be able to do. Now the happy, I'm going to offset a little bit more. I don't want it too, there, we're going to try and do it more. So, you might center justify something here. I'm going to go really quite a bit farther over that way. So just like we did last time, let's take out the little negative spaces of the letters and get those cleaned up. Paper crafting often has people turning their desks into disaster zones, and I've heard them call craftastrophes. So, all right, let me get my handy little tweezers here again so I can hold that. Same thing here. Now, one of the people that I really like watching who's great in this space, her name is Kathy Zelski, and she does beautiful lives. She's got great camera setups and all kinds of good things. I am so new, but after yesterday, I thought about it and I went and watched a couple of her live replays to remind myself of the things that she does that I love. One, she's just funny. So I hope, folks, I hope I get to be funny. And two, she has a lot of stuff that she's got sort of at her fingertips. She knows what she's doing, what she's reaching for. I'm sure that comes with time, and I will get there. But what I have noticed is the advice from YouTube is to have everything prepped before you start. So I can only imagine all the work that goes into all those videos she does, and I'm trying to emulate it a little bit and get some good stuff going on. All right, so my happy anniversary, nice and settled. So now what we're going to do is take this background, and I have noticed this a lot. See how you can see my camera in the mirror? That's how shiny this is. That's me. I'm wearing pink. Hello. Creative and funny. And I am both, Suzanne. Oh my gosh, you are a blessing. What can I tell you? Being my sister-in-law is one of my favorite things. All right, so I'm going to take this piece, and it is so shiny. And I'm going to go ahead and put some glue. Now, actually, I'm using this fine tip glue one. It doesn't matter. It's glue. I could have picked up my glue gun over here and used the normal nozzle that I use, but we'll just go scribbling a little bit more with the glue. So onto my shiny surface, I'm watching these 2 points and these 2 points, and basically just going to try and line it up perfectly. Now, often this is an element that I would pop up. I would use 2-dimensional tape and I would pop that up. But in this case, I want it to be nice and flat because remember, we put the foam behind the 50, and that's sort of the star of the card, if you will. So I want to be able to have that 50 be the part that's standing up. I don't want too much going on in the card. It's supposed to be elegant. That's what I'm going for. And those of us that know me, I'm not really known for being elegant, but I am loved, my friends, for everything that I am. Okay, so here we go. We're going to look at how this is coming together as the assembly. So happy. Here's our beautiful 50. I sort of want them kind of touching like that. And I'm wondering, should I do that gold mat around here? Here's what I'm going to do. I've got this ready to go. I'm going to set it aside for a second, and I'm going to cut a piece of the shiny gold that I was using. Or should I do the sparkly? No, I think the shiny is right. That's the right matting to go with. So I'm going to take that. This does not cut 5 by 7, which I will need some 7. So I'm going to reach for another cutter, my friend. And I'm going to cut this out in a 5 by 7, which may require, there you go, more trimming of the embossed piece that I did as well. but that's okay. We can do that. So you can see this is a well-loved ruler that I use on my cutter. And put that down and cut this 5 inches. Get that piece aside, and then 7 inches. And we're going to check what it looks like covering up the full face of the card. And then we're going to see if it needs to be cut down a little bit again. So possible design as we go. So this is what the background of the card looks like. Oh, that just pops nicely. And I'll tell you something in the design here. So currently the gold piece is the full size of the card. I prefer watching the corner over here when you can see it matted like a picture frame. So I am going to cut down the gold and the embossed piece again so that I can preserve the look of the white background of the card. So putting the card aside, putting the embellishments for the center aside, I'm going to come back and do a 1/4 inch, which is hard, of course, because my measurements aren't all there. So this one's 5, so I'm going down a 1/4 inch on one side and a 1/4 inch on the opposite side. So the short side as well. Oops. And so there we go. And then I'm going to take the embossed folder and do the same thing. Oop, this isn't already smaller. Oh, it is. Wait, let's look, friends. Let's look. Maybe I already have it the right size. Yeah, that's what I want. A nice little gold frame. Bring back our pieces here and see if I've done this correctly. Oh, yes, I have. Okay, stop cutting, Sherry. You have cut enough. All right. Okay, so here we go. So what we're going to do now is build this up and then put the pieces together for the embellishment in the center, and we're going to call it a day. So while I do that, I would love, if you're in the chat, to hear, are you a celebration person? Do you enjoy coming together and marking anniversaries? I know some people have anniversaries of first dates. Obviously we love birthdays in my household. So being able to count the milestones of yourself and your kids and your family with your beautiful celebrations in life. What are some of the things that you enjoy celebrating most? So there's the gold layer down. All right. And now we're going to go with, because this is embossed, I'm going to switch over to my glue, because the shiny surface of the paper for the gold and the embossed sort of variegated surface of this piece, I want to make sure that that they adhere nicely to one another. Trick with gold being the under piece of paper here, not to let the glue squish out onto it, because it will smudge and it's hard to cover up any smudges that happen in that. So our card opens like this. We've got the gold on, and now we're going for the beautiful element here with this elegance. Oh, I'm happy I did that. You know what? Sometimes when you're in design stage and you think you're going for one way, you just see how it needs to be zhuzhed up a little bit. Okay, so even, oh my goodness, that just is a pretty little card like that. You could just send to somebody with your nice note inside. But we're not done yet, friends, because I didn't paint these nails just for a few minutes. I painted them for us to have all day long and enjoy. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead, and you can see I've put this piece together. I'm going to put this down with some glue. Now I'm looking at the center of the card and wondering if I have enough room to make it totally center, which is what I'm going for here. And we're going to lift our 5 up a little bit and our 0. Okay, so I want this a little further away from here. So what I'm going to do is just nudge this way, and that might make me bring everything down a little bit. So this is sort of in that design stage of figuring out where things go and what you want to do. I think it's a good idea to have these guys touch. I think that's okay. I like the way the happy is in there. I'm going to go for it, friends. I'm going to try. So what I'm going to do is 2 things. This is double-sided tape. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape on the back of this foam. And in a second, you'll see that gives me some nice connection. But I'm also going to put a little bit of glue on the back, because this is a bit heavier. So I want the double insurance, if you will, of having the foam adhere well to the card. So, okay. You're impressed with how I was able to make that straight, Suzanne? Oh, I'm so glad to be impressing you. I think it's only 9 a.m. Look at that. Day accomplished already. How can you forget your beautiful wedding anniversary, Suzanne? My God, we had the most beautiful time. You looked absolutely stunning as a bride to my husband's brother, friends. That's what makes us sisters in love. It was a good day and worthy of celebrating years later, even. Okay, friends. So, happy anniversary with the 50th there. Just going to press my block on this right now. And I'm going to bring in and show you these little gemstones because a little bit of glitter is always something to go for here on our cards. Okay, so I have two colors of these gemstones. This one has sort of a iridescent, maybe even a little bit rose quality into it. And this one's more true to the color that we used. So what I'm going to do is scatter a few of these here on my desk and just drop a couple and see what do they look like on. Oh, you know what I haven't done, friends? I'm silly. I haven't attached this to the card yet. Wait, there's more. Here we go. This live stream has had lots of gluing on it, my friends. And I want the back of this done as well. Okay. Lots of nice glue to make sure we get a strong adhere. As I'm learning this YouTube live thing, I've got to figure out where to put my camera, how to use my camera, how the mics go, where the lights go. Lots of fun stuff. But I actually turned 50 this spring. And when I did, I promised myself I would live my life learning as I entered the back half of my life. So now that that's down, back to these little gems. So sometimes editing is the best part of what we do, and we need to stop and not put things on. But I am a little bit of a more is more person. So I like to get some extra little bits as we go. And I'm thinking there are even some tinier ones in here. Let me get a tool that helps me with this from my trusty desk drawer over here. This has a pointy tip like this and then a bit of a waxy tip here. So let's see if I can see some of those tinier ones like this guy. And let's see. I think I want them over here. This is looking kind of pretty unto its own. But I might want to just play a little bit for a minute. It's very Zen-like to sort of just place things and see how they make you feel as they get added to the card. All right, what do we think? What do we think? Do we like, and I like odd numbers, so I think I like that placement. That's looking good. It's hard because I'm looking through a camera and on my desk afterwards. So I think I'm right. So now this is a good use of the thin nozzle of glue here because these are not too big, and we want to make sure that we're doing just a small dab of glue. Put these down. There we go, small dab of glue. Oh, I can hear my husband making a pot of coffee, which just makes me so happy. Suzanne, when I'm at your place, you know how much I love having an espresso. Well, I'm just not good at making coffee myself, but I'll tell you something. I'm good at making tea. My favorites I bring in from the UK, from Fortnum and Mason. I love me a royal blend. And this, let me just move this out. Oh, gone wild. All right, get that over there. Okay, so this glue is a nice clear drying glue and is a quick drying glue as well too. Let's take a look, friends. So this is how the card will stand. Sometimes you make cards this way, but mine's landscape. And this is what we've got, friends. Ooh, I would love a coffee date, Suzanne. So here's our glitter from our Tim Holtz number set. The happy anniversary is very tiny. You can absolutely see it, and it's stunning. Thank you, Suzanne, for saying that. Thank you for coming this morning and being here with me. I am so excited. Look at that detail on that embossing to share this. And I'll tell you something fun. I'm actually going to, off camera, not in a live, when I have to can pay more attention to it, I'm going to make an envelope that matches this as well to make it a custom, because it's just that special of an event. And it's just a lovely thing to be able to celebrate life. So whatever it is that you're off to do today, if it's to come see me at the Renaissance Fair this afternoon, or please admire my nails if you do, or whatever wonderful adventures you have today, I hope they are absolutely amazing for you. Thanks for celebrating today with me. We'll see you again soon.